This video serves as an orientation or informational session for supervising a Mercer University school counseling practicum or internship student. Let me say a huge thank you for agreeing to serve as supervisors, ensuring that we produce the best school counselors for the state of Georgia. We're truly indebted to you. I'd like to provide you with the following information for this orientation: an explanation of the process for being in the field experiences, an explanation of what the field experience is all about, the student's responsibilities as a school counseling practicum or internship student, including the assignments required to complete the experience, and your role as a site supervisor. Before being placed, all students must complete and pass Mercer's criminal background check. However, students are aware that some school districts require their own background checks as well, and they're, of course, willing to do so. All site supervisors must meet the following criteria as recommended by the American School Counselor Association. You must have at least a master's degree in school counseling, be certified as a school counselor or its equivalent, master's degree in school counseling or a related field, must have a minimum of 2 years experience as a school counselor. You must be willing to provide a total of 1 hour per week of individual supervision with the Mercer students at the school site. You must be willing to provide opportunities for the Mercer student to engage in individual counseling, small group counseling, and classroom guidance with the students at the school site. And the school counseling program, we would like to follow the Ask a National model, or that which is described by the Department of Education regarding school counselors. What is the school counseling field experience? The field experiences are a critical component of preparing to be a professional school counselor. It is our hope that through classroom learning and field experiences, school counseling practicum and internship students will be prepared to effectively serve the P-12 student population. Successful completion of the school counseling practicum and internship will prepare the Mercer student to apply the knowledge base of counseling to develop, implement, and evaluate a data-based comprehensive developmental school counseling program, to assume professional roles and functions of the professional school counselor as described by KCREP, the Ask a National model, and the national standards, as well as the Georgia Professional Standards Commission guidelines for school counselors. Will also help them to translate group development, dynamics, leadership styles, counseling methods, and skills into effective interventions with the P-12 students, parents, faculty, staff, and the community at large. Will also help them to exhibit, they should be able to exhibit professional and personal behaviors, skills, attitudes, and dispositions associated with competence in the core areas specified by KCREP standards. They will be able to demonstrate ethical behaviors based on the ethical standards for educators in Georgia, American Counseling Association, as well as ASCA, and understand the legal issues relevant to school counseling, as well as to exhibit the professional leadership and social advocacy skills necessary to serve as an effective change agent and advance the cause of oppression or underrepresented groups, parents, and P-12 students. And lastly, to understand the facilitative factors that influence the helping process, including effective counselor and student-client characteristics, collaboration, and consultation skills, and theoretical frameworks that support these processes. The practicum experience. The practicum is there's a fundamental difference in emphasis between the practicum and internship. A major purpose of the practicum is to acquaint the student with the climate and the conditions within the P12 schools, and also to become proficient in demonstrating the acquisition of counseling skills. Practicum requires a minimum of 150 field experience hours in the school setting, and it's usually normally done in one semester. 40 of these hours, 150 hours, must be with direct student contact. That is, engaging in individual counseling, engaging in small group counseling, engaging in classroom guidance. One-on-one must be direct. The remaining hours are considered indirect student contact hours. The internship goes a little further than the practicum. With the internship experience, students are expected to engage in all of the activities that the school counselor engages in. So the site supervisor, as site supervisors, you must be willing to expose the students or the intern to all the activities that you engage in. Whether they will participate or observe will be up to you and where they are in acquiring those necessary skills. The internship is actually a 2-semester or a year-long course in the student's program of study, and it's usually done at the end of their program. This course is a total of 600 client contact hours. Must be supervised, of course, by the site supervisor in a public or private school setting. The intern is expected to perform and assume the roles appropriate to each grade level that they're placed at. School counselors, the 600 hours consist of 250 direct clocked hours. And these are, like I said earlier, direct interaction with the students that are related to counseling activities or issues with the students. And the remaining hours are indirect hours. During the internship experience, we would like for 50 of those hours to be spent either in observation or working directly with an administrator, so that the school counselor in training, that is the intern, would be exposed and have an understanding of the roles and functions of the administrator of the school. Indirect service hours consist of interactions with administration, teachers, administrators, teachers, and other staff personnel or parents as they relate to counseling activities or issues with or about the students. There are a number of specific responsibilities that all of the students, whether they're in practicum or internship, must be exposed to during their field experience hours. These students must be engaged in classroom guidance, that is, willing to lead, facilitate, or co-facilitate classroom guidance. Individual counseling, again, serve as the counselor who's leading the experience, do observation, or co-lead along with you. And the same with small groups. Additionally, Mercer University interns and practicum students are knowledgeable of the ASCA national models and the roles and responsibilities of the school counselor as specified by the Georgia Department of Education, as well as the ethical and legal principles of protecting as a practicing professional school counsel in the state of Georgia. The responsibilities of the Mercer School Counseling Field Experience student includes performing all field experience duties in a professional, legal, and ethical manner, and to contact the site supervisor, that's you, or the university supervisor, which will be a faculty member, when any concerns arise. Notifying school students that they are practicum or internship students, and because they're in training, they will have to share what's covered in the counseling session with a site supervisor or with a supervisor. Students are also required to obtain knowledge of and following the policies and procedures of the school in which they are completing their field experiences, particularly as they define as responsibility to students in areas such as record keeping, confidentiality, consultation, suicide risk and assessment, substance use and abuse, child abuse and neglect, and use of assessment data. As a school counselor, site supervisor, your responsibilities include, but they're not limited to, at the beginning of the semester, please assist the student in completing the field experience agreement contract. Provide approximately 1 hour per week of individual supervision with the student on site by giving them feedback on areas that they're growing in, areas that they need to develop, and areas that they're pretty strong in. So provide those strengths as well as those areas for growth, as well as those areas that are of concern. This is a time where we really would like for you to be open and honest with the intern or with the practicum student, because this is a training that's going on. Provide the practicum or internship students opportunity to conduct, facilitate, or lead the activities such as individual, small group, or classroom guidances. And I keep saying that because these are very important to what they need to know before becoming professional school counselors. Allowing the students to take some counseling session with permission, of course, whether that's from parents, the students, P12 student themselves, as well as the administrator to school. Assist the student in finding any demographic data related to the school or the school system. Signing the weekly log sheets. And then at the end of the semester, completing a summative evaluation. The form the student will provide for you. And then making sure that it is returned to the university. Before it's returned to the university, we always recommend that you sit down with the practicum or internship student to let them know how you're evaluating their performances. Hopefully, the 1 hour per week of individual supervision serves as formative evaluation so that there won't be any surprises with the summative evaluation. In terms of the specific assignments that each practicum internship student must complete for grading purposes, these are the assignments. Classroom guidance lessons. They must be done weekly or based on your schedule when they're done at the school site. Please note that the classroom guidance students are required to do a pre and a post test for each of the classroom guidance that they facilitate or they lead. The purpose being so that they can evaluate the effectiveness of the activity on student learning. Small group provide small group opportunities as well, but they're actually leading. Each small group must have a pre and post as well, so that to serve as a means of evaluating, again, student outcome learning based on the activities. The individual counseling session must also include a pre and post test, again, to evaluate how effective they were in working with the student. Mercer University also provides permission slips that's given to the student as well as the parents, so that students can be aware that they're being served by a student who is in training to become a school counselor. The final activity that they must engage in, and this is usually held during the internship, is the measure activity. This activity is based on the ASCA National Model. It serves as a capstone for the Mercer University intern field experience. The intern is expected to examine your school's annual report, or to look at the school improvement goals for that year. And in consultation with you, decide on an area, on issue that's noted, either in the annual report or the school improvement goals, to address by creating a school counseling intervention program that will address this area. In the past, we've had students who have conducted small group sessions to address students who were failing a certain number of subjects to increase the school's passing rate. Or we've had students who have conducted classroom guidance on bullying prevention, violence prevention with middle school as well as elementary school, to decrease the number of discipline referrals. So those are the types of activities that the measure is to address. The goal of this major assignment is for the intern to demonstrate how the school counselor's job is directly related to the mission of the school, which we know ultimately is student learning, student success, student achievement. In concluding this, I expect that any and all data collected by the intern should be left with you to assist you in your annual job evaluation, and also if you are getting ready to complete the process for obtaining RAMP, Recognized ASCA Model Program status. Or if you've already had it and want to renew it, it can also assist. Let me say a huge thank you again for your time in investing with our Mercer students. You may also expect that a university faculty member will make a site visit during the course of the practicum or internship students experience at your school. And we'll be there and available to answer any questions that you may have. However, should you have additional, based after listening to this video or watching this video, please feel free, do not hesitate to contact me via email at Rowland_KD@mercer.edu. That is ROWLAND_KD@mercer.edu. Or you may call me at 678-547-6049. Thank you so much. We look forward to working with you.